back, as promised. I had somebody the other day ask me why we have these breaks and why they break on the video. Well, in order to break it into segments, you got to do that. If you watch live on our website in the mornings, simply wait for a moment after the break because the video pauses, and then hit the play button again, and we come right back on. But it takes, just give it a minute or so between breaks. A couple of things I want to mention for you. The Ozark Property Rights Coalition group is going to meet today. Yes, today. Today is Thursday. Whew. And I am cooked. The Ozark Property Rights Coalition is going to meet tonight. And I would like for you, if you are at all if it is at all possible, and you are in the area here, to participate in that meeting. If you are a local person, and you would like to understand more about what's happening with that organization, the property rights coalitions are some of the best organizations out there because they are working daily, day in and day out, to make sure that your property rights are protected. There is a meeting that's going to happen tonight of the Mountain Grove chapter, and this is in Mountain Grove, Missouri. If you can get there, it's being held at the New Connection Center, which is on, let's see, well, I think it's on Route 60 Business. It's going to be held tonight between 7 and 9 p.m., and if you'd like, afterwards there's going to be like a late dinner. I'm trying to find the information so I can give you the exact address of this place. This is a brand new facility to meet for them because the old location where they used to meet in Mountain Grove is closed. It was a restaurant and they've closed. The Ozark PRC is going to meet at the Mountain Grove Connection, and that's CONNXTION, Connection Entertainment Center on Route 60, Business Route 60 in Mountain Grove. And Bob Parker and Doreen Hannes, they are the co-chairs. Bob Parker, for those of you who don't know him, great American guy. He worked and ran for federal office at the House of Representatives against Joanne Emerson before, and then against Jason Smith. And Bob is a real true patriot. Doreen is, nobody has got as much knowledge, information, and can extrapolate that into a workable understanding like Doreen Hannes. I tell you what, she is. I love Doreen. She is a great American, and man, she puts everything into her efforts to try to preserve the property rights owners' rights to protect their land and so forth. Anyway, they're two co-chairs of this program, and they are going to be meeting tonight at this. They meet the fourth Thursday of every month, by the way. And so make sure that you put that onto your calendar. It's the fourth Thursday of every month. If you're in that area, you can join that one. If you're not, if you're out in Douglas County, there's a brand new group out there forming in Douglas County. There is a brand new group, or I shouldn't say a brand new group. There's a group in Mammoth Spring that meets, and they cover both Arkansas and the southern eastern Missouri area. You can join that group over there as well. So make it your business, and there's a place where you can go to get information on all these groups. And if you are not local to this area and you would like to have or create a new chapter in your marketplace, by all means, please get a hold of prcnews.org. That's PRC News, Property Rights Coalition News.org. Make sure that you go to prcnews.org, and you can contact Doreen or Bob or Mike Slack or Kevin Jotz, any one of the leaders of these PRC groups, and they'll give you the basic information that you need in order to get a group started in your area. I'm sitting here watching our live overview, and I see people that are in Chicago. I see Maine. I see Beckett Ridge. I'm not even sure where Beckett Ridge is. I see folks over there in Seattle. I see folks in California, down in Texas. I see folks over in Louisiana. I see people all over the country that are monitoring and watching the show as we go. If you are in those marketplaces and you are looking for the opportunity to start a property rights coalition group in your neighborhood for your county or your small area, please, by all means, go to prcnews.org. These guys will help give you the information that you need in order to be able to start a chapter of your own. This is an excellent opportunity to be a community organizer, and one of your functions is as a leader. Take the bull, grab it by the horns, and lead. Lead even if you don't think you know how, even if you're not sure you're qualified. Lead. Leadership comes by example, and it comes by experience. Grab a hold and get it done. Take this opportunity to begin a PRC in your area. That's what enabled us to break and fight the Blue Way and break the back of the Department of the Interior when they were going to steal 60 million acres of property in northern Arkansas and southern Missouri. 60 million acres, folks. It was bigger than the state of Rhode Island. They were going to put it all under federal auspices, under the Department of the Interior. A couple of thousand people who were active and vocal, got up and stopped it. We stopped it in its tracks. PRC and the property rights coalitions were the responsible parties that did that. So I'm telling you, it is an extraordinarily worthwhile organization. Please be a part of it. Please make sure that you are working to create one in your market. Okay? All right. This fast news segment, I want to talk about a bunch of things. You know, the Farm Bill is out there again, and it is packed with absolute, and I'm going to do a whole segment on the Farm Bill probably later this week or maybe early next week, because this thing is unbelievable. For the record, the Farm Bill is $955 billion in size. Well, guess what? The Farm Bill is really not much of a farm bill. What the Farm Bill really is $744 billion dedicated for food stamps. And if you're familiar with what's going on, I put an article up this morning, 49% of America is on food stamps. Ladies and gentlemen, 49% of America is receiving some sort of federal assistance and federal subsidies. And much of that is on food stamps. The total number of people that are on food stamps now is so staggering, so high, that when we look here under usdebtclock.org, there are 47 million Americans that are living in poverty and 47 million Americans that are on food stamps. There's only 300 million of us total. I mean, it is stunning to me, and these are households, by the way. You know, now CNS News came out with an article that I put up on our Facebook and our YouTube channel, or Facebook and website, about how, and this will blow your doors off, that I got to find the exact specific numbers. 49% of Americans get government benefits, 49%, and 82 million households are on some form of Medicaid. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only 114 million households in the United States. We have become, instead of we the people, we have descended into this thing called we the dependent, groveling, self-serving, and selfish slaves. That's what we've become. We've become a nation of people who will do whatever we're told to do as long as you keep the freebies coming. That's why Obama won the second election, ladies and gentlemen. Not because he was a great president, not because he's a good leader, not because he's a good implementer of Obamacare, not because he's a good project manager, not because he's a good national leader, because he's given away our taxpayer money to buy votes. It's that simple. Everything else is marketing and smoke and mirrors. Stop buying into the lies. 49% of people get government benefits, and 82 million households are on Medicaid, according to the 2010 census. And yet there are only 114 million households in the United States. Something is desperately very, very wrong. Okay. Next news article. California sheriffs and deputies killed a 13-year-old boy because he was walking up the street with a toy AK-47 and a toy pistol. They pulled up. They called for backup. They surrounded this kid. They told him to drop the weapons. He didn't drop them fast enough. They shot and killed him. A 13-year-old boy. Where is America, and what have you done with my beloved country? Unbelievable. If this hasn't gotten so far out of control, I mean, this occurred in California, of course, California. Sorry, if you're from California and you're a patriot, I apologize, but I got no respect for the way that nation state handles what's going on. This gun thing is so out of control. This is what we are as a nation. We are a gun-owning nation. We have them for a reason. It is to protect us from the tyrants in Washington, D.C. and in our state capitals. That's all they're for. Stop with the nonsense. Stop acting as if guns kill people. The only people right now that seem to be killing anybody is these doggone cops and these idiots who are running around taking these psychotropic and antidepressant drugs that our pharma tyrants are pumping into our bodies, and the government is promoting it so that we're turning into a nation of apathetic zombies. Okay, new topic. Offensive Halloween costumes have been banned by a United States university. The University of Colorado in Boulder has told students they cannot wear costumes that might be offensive, including cowboy, an Indian, or white trash, or hillbilly or bum costumes. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. This is so far outside. I mean, look, first of all, why does a university really care how they dress? But this is taking political correctness to an outrageous nth degree. And not for nothing, but it's time for this kind of crap to stop. It is time for us to make sure that we are taking our nation back. And you've got to participate. You must assist us. Otherwise, you will be left in the lurch here. And we'll all be left in the lurch, but predominantly because you wouldn't help. A Virginia mother has been charged after firing her gun into the air to scare away people who were attacking her daughter. This is for real, folks. This woman was charged with firing a weapon into the air to scare her daughter's attackers away. I think perhaps this woman should hire Vice President Biden to come to her defense and actually act as her defense attorney in this case, because it's a criminal case. You know, and here's why. He was the guy who advised women to get a shotgun and fire 2 blasts in the air. And personally, I think that is a 100% legitimate defense. That's the defense I'd be going in with. I just followed my vice president's advice, Your Honor. They were attacking my daughter. I fired a blast into the air to scare away those attackers. And Mr. Vice President here is going to defend me. That would be my argument. This is insane. We're going to take this topic up in greater detail next week, but yesterday, a report was released that the NSA spied on over 124 billion phone calls in 1 month, 3 billion of those right here domestically in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a new phrase that you should be writing down. Please write this down. And I want you to go out there, and I don't care where you do, I don't care where you write it, I don't care where you put it up on posters, paint it up, spray paint it on the walls of buildings. Make this, don't do anything that will get you in trouble for graffiti, because but the point is this. Make sure that, print it up on business cards, put it up on a sign in front of your shop. Here's the phrase. Write this down. I'm going to give it to you a couple times. America, arise. Be counted. Be fearless. Be fierce. Be courageous. Speak, even when your voice shakes. I'm going to give it to you again. Please write it down. America, arise and be counted. Be fearless. Be fierce. Be courageous. Speak, even when your voice shakes. I know you're afraid. I know you're scared. I know you're afraid of being on a list, of being targeted, of being abused, of being persecuted. Now is not the time for you to shake and quake in your boots. Now is the time for you to stand up. Now is the time for you, America, to arise, to be fearless and courageous. America, arise and be counted. Be fearless, be fierce, be courageous, and speak even when your voice shakes. It is our time. It is our duty. It is our obligation. We can no longer wait. Okay. Sibelius is on the grill. She's going up before the House. The healthcare site contractors are going to give testimony. By the way, they're throwing the HHS under the bus. They're saying that it wasn't our fault that this thing didn't get off the ground properly. They couldn't even tell us what they wanted, when they wanted it, or how we were going to do it, and they kept giving us change orders. There's a lot of finger pointing going on. The truth of the matter is the talk right now, and most Democrats even are beginning to come out and side with the idea of pushing off the mandate, or even pushing this entire mandate back a full year. In other words, the whole implementation of it a year. The problem, of course, with that is that, and I brought this up in our first segment, what is going to happen, and we're going to talk about this as our final segment. What's going to happen to those people who have their insurance being canceled right now by their insurance companies because they don't meet the Obamacare qualifications? You're going to have, on January 1st, literally tens of millions of Americans who had insurance, were happy with it, and now have no insurance, and they have no Obamacare because they can't get into the website to sign up. So you're going to have literally tens of millions of Americans who are going to be out there uninsured. The finger pointing has got to stop. And the truth of the matter is, the only way to solve this thing is to go back and for Congress to go to the insurance companies and say, look, this has been a giveaway for you. You're going to continue those plans for another year. We're going to delay this entire thing until next October, and that's the end of it. By the way, that'll get everybody an opportunity to really see the true impact of this thing in terms of how much is it really going to cost you on a per-family basis, and how big is the deductible going to be. I looked it up because they've changed the format now. You can at least get a glimpse by going without having to register of what your costs are going to be. They give you rough estimates. In my case, the cheapest plan in my area for what they call catastrophic care, it only pays 60% of the bills, and it's got an $11,000 deductible, and it's going to cost $561 a month. That's the cheapest plan available, ladies and gentlemen. In order to buy a plan that would cover 80%, it will cost me over $1,000 a month. I mean, with all due respect, I don't have it. Okay. Germany and France are flipping out. Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, came out the other day and flat out accused the National Security Agency and the president of listening to her direct telephone calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I did a whole segment about this last week. How can you say that the NSA and this program is really about international terrorism and the war on terror when you are sitting there listening to the telephone calls of an ally's president? This is insane. And I have to tell you, we are losing our stature in the world so quickly. This existing president has done more to eviscerate the reputation, the standing, the credibility of the United States than any other incident in the history of the United States of America. And he's happy about it. He is happy about it. Yesterday, a White House member of the National Security Council was fired for having a private Twitter account in which he was out there throwing out all of these accusations and abuses of people out there in the White House. He was actually accused of, they're accusing him of officially of leaking now. So I think they're going to try to punish him that way. But the truth is that, frankly, what he was doing was telling America the truth about what's really going on the inside of the White House. There has never been a more sealed, closed organization than this White House. No other administration in history has had less people who came out and wrote a book or whatever. This administration is so sensitive, so secured down, locked down. They're tighter than a gnat's rear end. And the truth of the matter is, it's harming America. I'm not saying that we need people to come out there and write the dirty laundry of the White House. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't care about, whether President Obama's feet smell. I am interested in what's going on in our nation and how they're affecting us in ways both domestically and internationally. And that we know is way out of control. So what we need to do is recognize that there is a legitimate and valid place for whistleblowers. Well, I'm not saying this guy was a whistleblower through a Twitter account. I mean, I really don't think he was. But when we talk about people who have actually come out and blown the whistle, who are being penalized, persecuted, and prosecuted for doing so, that is un-American, it is unethical, it is immoral, it is unconstitutional, and it is illegal. And it is unacceptable for us to continue to accept that. Hillary Clinton went out the other day, and she's trying to lay the groundwork for a 2016 run. These hecklers came out of the middle of nowhere and were screaming at them, "You let them die," talking about Benghazi. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is one thing that you need to remember as we go into 2016, is that was Hillary's story. Benghazi is Hillary's story, beginning and end of argument. I don't care that you can blame some of it on the president. She was in charge. That was her group. She was the one who was involved in it. And I'm here to tell you, Hillary Clinton, if she runs for president of the United States, she will make Obama look like an unruly kid. I'm telling you right now. The last story we're going to talk about is the United States Navy had a carrier that they wanted to scrap. And rather than the United States scrapping it and cutting it up and selling the steel or whatever, they sold it. It's a supercarrier now. This is huge. This thing is a city, right? 5,000 people lived on it. They sold it to a scrapyard for 1 penny. 1 penny. Now, with all due respect, what they should have done was gone to a contractor and said, "You cut it up for scrap." This is how I would have done it. I would have said, "You cut it up for scrap. You account for every dollar that you get for it, and then you split the revenue with us. We're giving you the ship for nothing, but you're going to pay us a percentage. You want to do it on a 50-50 split? Fine. 70-30, 60-40, I don't care. But a 1 penny? 1 penny? Unbelievable. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Hopefully, Mr. Rawls is going to contact us at 9 o'clock. I've been unable to confirm, but he's in another state in another time zone, and so I wasn't able to confirm with him this morning whether or not he's going to be joining with us. But he is the author of an outstanding book, which I strongly encourage you to get and read. It's a novel. It is not a fact book. It's called Patriots, a novel of survival in the coming collapse. His name is James Wesley Rawls. You can find and read his blog that he has on the internet, and it is an extraordinarily valuable one. It's called the survivalblog.com, just survivalblog.com. It is a blog that is just loaded with all kinds of information in reference to what's going on in the world and how you can be prepared and how you can be, prepared to take care of yourself and your family in the event of some kind of a national emergency or even a localized disaster. He is an extraordinarily intelligent guy. He has a great background. I really would love for you to read his book if you can get a hold of it. And if he joins us this morning at 9 o'clock, I'll be more than happy to bring him onto the program, and I'll preempt our other topic, which was going to be the book by Peter Schweitzer called Extortion, and we'll tackle that. I'm actually trying to get a copy of that. It just got published. It's called Extortion by Peter Schweitzer. And I got to tell you, folks, when you hear what's going on over in Congress, you're going to be flabbergasted. And then you're going to be really, really mad. And I hope you are. And then I hope you do something about it. We are off the charts with what's going on here in Washington. And this book called Extortion by Peter Schweitzer is a terrifying inside look into what's happening, about how Congress is selling chairmanships and seats on specific committees only if you raise enough money for the party. You want to know why parties can't get a seat and why the third party can't get a foothold in the United States of America? This is why. The Democratic and the Republican candidates and those two parties have basically bought and sold our entire system. And they're not in this for you. They're not in this for anything other than their own personal ego, their aggrandizement, and whatever power they can usurp. That's the truth, long and short of it. They're living like kings on private PAC money that falls outside the scope of election laws so that they don't have to worry about following election requirements. They create these PACs where they use this money to spend and live lavish lives like they are kings and queens and dukes and duchesses. This is a shameful, shameful condemnation and an indictment of the American political system. I got to tell you, if you do not recognize that today is the day for you to, America, arise, be counted, be fearless, be fierce, be courageous, and speak even when your voice shakes. Now is the time. Now is the time for you to stand. Please, be of courage. Recognize that this is not going to be easy. It's not going to be pleasant. But I got to tell you, the alternative is far, far worse. The alternative is something that is literally unimaginable for us as a nation. The truth of the matter is, we will either fight now or we will fight later. And Winston Churchill told us very clearly and very succinctly, if you will not fight for the right when you can easily win without bloodshed, if you will not fight when your victory will be sure and not too costly, you may come to the moment when you will have to fight with all the odds against you and only a precarious chance of survival. There may even be a worse case. You may have to fight when there is no hope of victory, because it is better to perish than live as slaves. You know, I hear Winston Churchill quoted all the time by politicians and by talking heads and pundits. I never hear them use that one. You're listening to America's Voice. My name is Michael Evans. I am the host here. I am hopeful that you'll join with us every day. We broadcast our show live on our website. We stream it as a video and audio. You can capture it by going to AmericasVoiceNow.org. You can also find every one of our shows that we post up afterwards right there on our news list. We post up stories and articles and all kinds of things. We're in the process right now of rebuilding our website, so stick with us. We've got some good things coming for you. It's a very, very busy and complicated website to maintain. If anybody out there is good at web development or good at web working and would like to be able to assist me in terms of maintaining it and posting stories, please, I could use your help. Send me an email to mike@americasvoicenow.org. mike@americasvoicenow.org. We'll be right back. Stick with us. When we come back, we're either going to be talking about Peter Schweitzer's new book, Extortion, or we're going to have Mr. Rawls with us. Hang on a moment. We'll be right back.